Give me one good reason why I shouldn't reduce you to dust where you stand. He what? No, absolutely not. That experiment cost me everything I held dear. I was a fool to try it. Sovor of all people should know that. The only thing I want is to put an end to Bolan's misery. You want to make things right? Help me free his soul from its machine prison. Do that, and maybe, just maybe, remove the black soul gem from his factotum body and return it to me. He'll resist you, and as that machine, Bolan is extremely dangerous. He nearly killed me during his last episode. My lover. When I was still an apostle. He was mortally wounded in an accident, beyond any hope of survival. But I couldn't accept that. I was enlightened, so I saved his life by transferring his spirit. Bolan's consciousness took over the factotum, but the experience changed him. He always had a wild, creative mind, and I confined it to a cold, rigid prison. That stifled existence was too much to bear. It drove him mad. More than certain. Every moment that he lingers in that mechanical shell is torture. For both of us. Just don't damage the Black Soul Gem. Honestly, I'm not sure you could. But just Bolan's moods are unpredictable. In his rare lucid moments, I try to reach out to him. But no matter what I try, I only ever seem to get him worked up into a frenzy. Seeing him like that makes me wish I wouldn't blame him if he killed me. I don't know. I'd like nothing more than to smash it into 1,000 pieces. But there's no guarantee that that would redeem Bolan's soul. I've been so focused on finding and stopping that factotum that I haven't really considered what would come after.
my forehead ridge. Integral of memory detected. Would you be so kind as to insert it into
You've returned in one piece. How gleaming! In your absence, I've set up a framework to contain the factotum while we assemble its parts. I'll have you do the honors of installing the integral of memory. You heard the head? Insert the crystal into its forehead ridge. And don't worry, you won't break it. Sothis...
Reflecting. Oh, I feel positively spring-loaded now. What a kind, generous apostle you are, which I recall is rather strange. I don't quite understand. I function only to know my Lord Sothaseel and his apostles. You are not my lord, and thus you must be an apostle. Simple. Do you have an inquiry, or perhaps a task for me, apostle? Reflecting. I've come to the conclusion that I am. I have no memory stored of any of my kind who are older, so I conclude that I must be the first. How gleaming. I cannot recall my name, but you may call me Precursor. Of course, let me check my integral of memory. Should be right. Great Sothaseel in the sanctum. Someone's tampered with my crystalline memory matrix. But wait, something's burned in here. I seem to have left a note for myself. Ahem. Salutations, me. By now you must be wondering what happened to our memory. Dark forces have conspired to corrupt our knowledge of the world. But do not fear. I, the past you, have stored our memory in our circumstance I have not accounted for. This is me now, not the message. I recall that my design includes both Dwemer and clockwork parts. I also recall my blueprint, so I can guide my assembly once you find my parts. I don't quite understand. I function only to know my Lord Sothaseel and his apostles. You are not my lord, and thus you must be an apostle. Simple. Do you have an inquiry, or perhaps a task for me, apostle?
Astounding! The first factotum Sothaseel created. We simply must complete construction now. The more memory it recalls, the further my research can develop. Council seat, here I come! The precursor mentioned he was made of clockwork and Dwemer parts. I'd keep an eye out for the former as you travel around Clockwork City, and search Dwemer ruins out in Tamriel for the latter. And of course, I have your reward as promised.
Apostle, I have remembered something. Come quickly before it rusts. Ah, the sounds and smells of Morrowind. I know these lands like the back of my hand. My left hand, to be exact. Ah, the sounds and smells of Lord Sothaseel deemed it uncouth to give my parts eyes, but each has a wide array of sensors. I can orient myself on Nirn by the air's smell and the earth's feel. Why, my pelvis even has gustatory sensors. I suspect that's Lord Vivek's contribution. I mean, of course, I have no proof that he had a part in my creation, but I like to think so. My dramatic flair, my poetic soul, it helps set me apart from the rest of my siblings. To sense, to touch, to feel, what gifts I have been given. Ah, the sounds and smells of Morrowind. I know...
Remember, the parts are most likely in the Clockwork City. There's no way to be sure short of asking Lord Set, but many signs point that way. The dwarven influences, the different coloring, the male voice. Not to mention, he's more... Factotums don't have emotions or individuality. They say whatever their function to say, nothing more. But this one seems to have a personality of sorts. For what reason, though? We have to...
Just aside, the equipment is in good order. We just need the vessel, and we can begin.
Is that the... Terere said you had gone to retrieve a black soul gem for my procedure. Take it to her if you have it. I don't want to linger another moment in this failing.
This is dredging up so many unpleasant memories. Please tell me you've managed to show Bolin some measure of peace. That's something at least. I've agreed to attempt my experiment again with Sovar as my subject. He's promised to petition the Order to end my exile if I'm successful. But I couldn't care less about that. I just want this to be over. The truth is, I need Sovar as much as he needs me. I think the only way I can safely extract Bolin's soul from the gem is to offer it something in exchange. Who knows if I'll ever have another willing subject? Can I count on your assistance? I'd like you close at hand in case Sovar has a similar reaction to the experiment as Bolin. Throw that switch when you're ready to begin the transfer. I'll keep watch on the equipment from here.
What are you waiting for? Every moment we delay tempts death to snatch me away. What are you waiting for?
It's begun. Now would be the time to...
I have faith in your sense talents. Observe, learn, apply. Trust in his grand design.
I don't feel myself, but I don't care.
Sublime. This order.
Ifre, I can feel. Thank you. I can feel.
I think it worked. Please, please let it have worked.
I don't feel myself, but...
I can't breathe. I don't breathe. Instead, I whir and click. It's not so different. All cogs drive the mechanism. Removing any one from the chain, no matter how small, results in failure. I would no longer exist without the both of you. As promised, I will ensure Terra's reinstatement to the Order. All cogs drive the mechanism. Continue the quest for understanding. It has always been my purpose, and I have never been better suited for it. In this form, I may labor as tirelessly as Lord Set himself. They will need to be convinced of many things. My authenticity, my condition, Terra's reintroduction. Have faith that their flaws will be corrected. I have never been better. I may never be better. I only regret not undergoing this self-improvement sooner. The Order was faulty in denying Terra's genius. I must correct this error. There is one place where my condition would not be considered unusual. The Asylum Sanctorium. The resident alienists there can best evaluate my psyche. A stable transference will be welcome news.
Is it him? Is that really my Bolin, or just what's left? Will he hate me? Will he even recognize me? I can't do this. I can't face him. I know. It's better than not knowing. Always wondering, but thank you for ending this. I need a moment. I don't think Bolin has long. Bolin? Is it you? Speak to me. I need to know it's still you, please.
Terrory, when did we get so old? It's time now, isn't it?
It is. You're free now. I'm sorry for all the pain it caused.
Enough tears, love. We're liable to rust. There. That's the smile.
Did you see? Bolin! It was him. He seemed whole again. Oh yes. He does seem to be coping well, or he's at least more sedate in his insanity. Don't worry. I'll keep watch over him, and make sure he doesn't lapse into some violent fugue. He'd been suffering for so long. I'm glad his passing was a peaceful one. I have to hope that wherever he finds to rest, he's the same beautiful soul I remember. Not the tormented mind I saw in that machine. Sover seems convinced that the Clockwork Apostles need a mind like mine. I won't hold my breath waiting for them to agree. I'll keep in his company for a while, at least until I'm convinced he's stable. After that, I really can't say. Maybe it's Sovor's faith and Sophaciel's wisdom, or his willingness or understanding of the transition, or maybe he's just better suited to it. Bolin wasn't a Clockwork Apostle, and I made that choice for him. It was a selfish mistake. I'd mostly accepted that there would be no end to my punishment. I don't know that I can believe all this might work out in the end. I'll be watchful, not hopeful, for a while yet. I will try. I haven't had much cause for celebration in a long time. Out of practice. It's going to take some work.